Yo, welcome in everybody. Bless and love. How y'all doing? Shoot. I was actually looking, thinking I need to go and have a little bit of preparation for this. How Drake and AK just became rap's biggest vultures for what they just did. More drama, by the looks of it. Let me start off.
Now, when it comes to Drake, academics, and all the weirdos, we are unfortunately seeing more and more.
I'm gonna need to go and roll me up a little one for this. You know what I'm saying? Small intermission break. Get my brain ready for what new they're involved in, 1 second. Yep, I think I'm ready for this now. I had to go and put one in the ear. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. You don't know, well, hey. But yeah, let's go, man. Let's go.
Of every day. As Kendrick Lamar has started a new era in hip-hop where everything in rap has been shifting back to the place that it should have always been, as a result of one side of the people and artists moving away from the worst parts of the culture entirely. That other side of hip-hop that has been responsible for creating so many problems is standing further and further away from rap's core principles, and with this, it hasn't just been easier to spot who is on the wrong side of the genre, but also these guys are now linking up together and helping one another out to make sure that as hip-hop is shifting back to the place it should have been, which of course really means that they shouldn't have a place in it.
All the Glazers all in the same picture in the same room, yeah?
They can still hold on to their careers. Okay. So with this and Drake and academics specifically, as they are trying to make this new side in hip-hop that over everything else is going to stand for the mindless, cloud-chasing culture that Drake has defined more than any other rapper has, academics and Drake have continued to secure stronger and stronger bonds with some of the most despised people in hip-hop and beyond the music world entirely, and with all of this, while even the most annoying vultures and clout chasers will not be able to stop the shift that is going down in hip-hop, everything is about to get a lot more annoying as rap is in such a pivotal time. And now before we go any further into this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And with all of the chaos that the other side of hip-hop is trying to bring currently, it really has never been more important to leave that like. And so now with that said, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to Drake, before we can get into what his role in all of this even is, we can't even get into what he has planned and how it's all advancing without talking about none other than DJ Academics. And with Big Ac, surprisingly or unsurprisingly, if you have been following how desperate this guy is to help Drake out in any way possible, he is really the glue to this entire movement that is going down and this entire strategy and plan that is going to try to dispel not just Kendrick Lamar, but everything he stands for at this point, which means hip-hop that same old chair and annoying everybody within the same old manner that he always does. But instead, Hack has pretty much been running around and doing side quests to both make sure that his own platform stays at the top of whatever strange things he is trying to represent after losing a lot even on his side of things after doing some very weird things that were caught. But also with this end again, this isn't just speculation anymore because Drake's DMs leaking with Act's top guy in terms of who runs his stuff have now confirmed that the two are on the same page about how they portray Drake and what he is doing and how they portray Kendrick and everyone they don't like. And with this, Act is seemingly going around and is on a run right now where he is linking up with the most annoying and desperate clout chasers you possibly could, and is pretty much doing PR for Drake and putting pieces on the board that are at the very least gonna support his and Drake's ideals and not Kendrick Lamar and that other side of hip-hop that they are scared of so much. And I mean, with Act, this started with some of the most ridiculous moments that we have ever seen, and that really just put into perspective what this entire side of hip-hop is really about. And of course, we all saw this when Act was sitting on the boat with a bunch of women, and for some reason, they gave him the speaker and he started playing SSS for You, and instead of doing literally anything else, Act decided to pull out his phone, record what he is doing, and started rambling about Kendrick Lamar and how his music would never do this. And honestly, with something like this, it's actually so embarrassing that you can't even take it seriously. But from this moment, which really just showed what the current state of Drake's career looks like, from the pull off this comeback have continued and they are getting out of control at this point.
Glazing the next man, and they ain't getting nothing from it. To do what? For what reason? Like, let me stop. Let's roll.
And now, while Ak has already made Ye a part of this little group, and he is all but officially on Team Drake compared to how much he despises Kendrick and the rappers around him, even like Playboy Cardi, Tyler the Creator, and really just the entire rap game at this point. And again, when this interview between Ak and Ye ends up actually dropping, we are going to see this more than we ever have, because of course, as we have said, knowing the type of person Ak is, he is going to take Ye's angry posts and is going to connect them to this bigger message that they are trying to push against Kendrick, beyond just having the support support of Ye, Ak has continued his little press tour to keep this side of people who are in hip-hop but don't actually like rap music and just want to use the genre for their own benefit going, as he was at the center of one of the worst link-ups we have ever seen, as with Ak, DJ Vlad, and Adam22 in the same room alone, and that's not even all of them. Just from the optics of this all, you don't need to look any further, but you can see the shift happening in hip-hop right before us, as we are seeing hip-hop split between the two people who look at the genre in completely different ways and who want to get two completely different things out of it.
Yep,
and now
true.
the important thing to recognize in this time
22,
is that while Ak or Drake, for that matter, are not literally getting all of these
only person missing from there is Mal from the Rory and Mal podcast. I said it. Like,
people to join up with what they are doing and just push Drake no matter what. Because with someone like Adam22, for example, I guess he was even right once in his career, as he did say an album like GNX was great while he was underwhelmed by SSS for You. Beyond specific takes or messages, just with a link up like this. In this time where Ak is one of the most talked about people in hip hop for all the awful things he does, and he can't escape Drake because the two have been exposed for literally making plans about how to present what they want to say together. Just like on the other side of hip hop, with Kendrick Lamar joining up with someone like Playboy Cardi.
That's why you can't take a lot of these people's word take on certain things or songs, music, etc. to heart, bro. What do they know?
Later rapping over Kendrick's beat on a remix, where the goal with all of that stuff, the Super Bowl, and so much else is to show the realignment of hip-hop culture as it always should have been, right for all of us to witness. What we are seeing with a link up like this is the antithesis of that, because for all of these guys, no matter what their specific opinions on an album may be, they all represent the side of hip-hop that does not want to engage with the actual art beyond the most superficial level. And they only even like and cover rap music for all of the worst reasons possible. And I mean, you see the picture, I don't have to go much further into that because we all know how all of these guys have come up. But again, by bringing together all of these fans, which from Drake's fans to all of these guys to even what's left of Ye's, this is what you are getting. Altogether, what we are seeing now is this loud group of angry people who don't actually like rap music and want it to succeed just form together with the theories and points that someone like Ak has been throwing out there.
And I mean, as well too, you can't get too angry with them, because there is an audience out there for that. There is a big number of people out there who actually agree with what Ak, Mal, Adam22, anyone that has anything bad to say about Kendrick or hip hop, you know what I'm saying, anything to do with talking about culture, vultures, etc. You got a whole number of individuals on the next side just literally fighting that. You know, so they have their audience, and obviously they're going to feed whatever BS they can to that audience that's needing that kind of BS to stay afloat. And that's what they're doing right now. They're trying to stay afloat on a sinking motherfucking ship, you know what I mean?
That's exactly what he is doing in terms of getting all of these fans who are just mad at everything to give them some sort of support when it comes to discrediting hip-hop at every corner they can, and believing that Drake was an artist who was wronged by the industry that they are trying to go up against. And while this is horrible that these people can even represent hip-hop the way they do, and they do have direct influence and ties to some of the biggest rappers out, in a way, seeing this split be so clear probably will do better for the genre in the long run than anything else. But in the meantime of all of that, from Ak to Drake to all of these other guys, they are about to make it so annoying to be someone who just wants to listen to good music. Because anytime now an actual artist is successful without a gimmick, like Doechii for example, or even with what Playboy Cardi just did, these fans and personalities can't admit that people are resonating with music that isn't cloud chasing. And anytime an artist is getting successful, like with Doechii for example, they say it's not real or that this is all in place to take down Drake by the industry. And while this is already so annoying as we see it, there is no other way to put it. It is only going to get a lot worse, as just as Ak is doing things like we are seeing now, this is getting so out of hand and so beyond hip-hop in a way, that again, with people like Ak and even Aiden Ross, they are getting ready to take these big rappers like Drake and Ye and make the full-on jump into collaborating with a certain pair of brothers. And again, I am not going to mention them by name, but if you didn't already know, you know who I am talking about now, and you probably saw the pictures of Ye with them, just as Ak has been on this PR tour really for Drake more than himself.
Bro,
when
right
he was
now,
at an event and
things
around
over.
Aiden Ross, and these guys
I stopped reacting to a lot of this kind of news, Drake, Ak. I thought it felt like I was kicking a dead horse. You know what I mean? I was like, bro, what else can they do? They've literally done everything. And then every time I come on, it's like there's something new. There's one I think I need to go cover about some ghostwriting allegations. Again. Like, please tell me it ain't so. But nah, man, I'm gonna stop this here. We're gonna see what's happening. The Glazer's gonna still glaze. The stand's gonna be still the stands, and it is what it is. You know, it's fake hip hop versus real hip hop. That's what it's come down to. You know where I'm coming from. But yeah, guys, as I said, I don't know what's been happening with my algorithm. I don't have a clue. But like and share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one, man. Take care, be safe, and thanks again, yeah.